Hey guys, and welcome to another episode. In this video, I'm going to show you how to go from a wheel adapter to a wheel spacer. Now you're probably thinking, okay, these are basically both the exact same things, but you're going to know one crucial difference between these two. Now the way that this works is the entire thing bolts up to the hub of the car, and then your wheel will bolt up to this. Now this is going to be a very good option, and it'll work very nicely given that you torque each one of these up to the proper manufacturer spec. So make sure the wheel spacer is bolted up and torqued to the hub, and then you torque the wheel up to the spacer. Now on the other end, I have this spacer right here. This is another type of spacer, but as you can tell, this is only a 25mm billet piece of aluminum. You can see there's the holes in it, just like this one, but there's no studs. Now the reason why this might be advantageous to you versus say something like this is if you're trying to clear brakes, you're trying to go for a perfect offset, and you need to run either multiple spacers, or if you're looking to run spacers that are smaller than say 25, 20, or even 15mm. This spacer that I have right here is a 12mm spacer, and this is what I need to clear my brake calipers for my new summer set of wheels and tires. So I'm gonna show you in this video how to go from this to this. In my last video regarding the installation of these ARP extended studs, you guys would have remembered that these studs are 35mm longer than the OEM ones that came on the car. Now that means that I'm going to be able to run up to 35mm of spacers safely. Now that way I'm going to have a proper amount of threads on my lug nuts, and I'm going to have a good amount of biting force on that lug on each one of these studs. So I'll be able to run that without an issue. If you can't find a 25mm spacer that is just the billet piece of aluminum, I'm going to show you how to get that. So this 10-ton shop press is what I'm going to be using to press out each one of the studs that's found in the wheel spacer. So the lever that we have on the right is what we're going to be using to create pressure inside the hydraulic chamber, which is going to push that piston down onto each one of the studs. So this press is rated for 10 tons, which means that we have enough pressure to put 10 tons of force on each one of the studs. We're probably not going to be getting anywhere near close to that. We're probably going to be getting around 3 tons of pressure on each one of the studs. Now you can get this done by using the shop press that I have here, or you can do it the good old-fashioned way by beating each one of the studs out with a hammer. So the hole that we have right here in between these two plates is what I'm going to line up each one of the studs with. So this stud, I want to push it and I want to get it so that it'll basically fall through that piece in there. So I want to have my lug nut so it's perfectly flush with the top of the stud. And then at this point, I'm going to start applying some pressure on the press, and it's going to push each one of the studs out. And from there, the stud will drop through. So what we're looking to do now is take the threads off the stud, and the stud should drop through like that. And then we're gonna do the same thing to the other 4. Now at this point, we pressed out all 5 studs from the spacer. We have our 5 lug nuts that we used with the spacer from before. And now we can go ahead and throw this on our extended ARP studs. Now we've got one here and the other one here. So we have a matching set, and we're gonna be mounting both of these on the Accord. And just like that, you guys can switch out your hub adapter into basically a hub spacer. They're both gonna do you the exact same kind of job, but you're gonna be using these two in 2 different applications. So if I wanna put a 5mm spacer on here, I wouldn't do that using these regular threads because you're not adding extra material onto here for you to use. Because we have the extended studs installed on the car, you can safely run this spacer along with say a 5mm spacer or a 10mm spacer safely. Now, if you guys didn't see my install video regarding the extended studs on my Accord, you guys can check out the link in the description box, and I'll also have a link in the outro video so you guys can check that out. So if we now want to install the same spacer we were using before on our car, now with our APR studs and the spacer, just line it up and everything should bolt up properly. Now the way that this gets torque is once you put the wheel on here, you're just using one set of lug nuts to hold this down in place. Torque this up to the regular torque spec of your wheels, and the car is gonna be safely able to run the wheel spacers without an issue. Now, I've seen both kinds of setups where you guys run a set of spacers, and I've also seen some that are adapters that have the bolts in them. Both setups work very well. The installation is the only difference between the two. If you have a set of extended studs, you can use either of these without a problem. If you don't have extended studs, you're probably gonna have to go with a set of spacers that run bolts with them. That way you're gonna have a good amount of threads on there holding that spacer and your wheel onto the car. Now, I've gone to the track with both setups. I've had no problems with both of them. My only concern with these two is that this setup that you're just using a set of spacers for, so there's no bolts, no nothing, it's just a set of extended studs and open-ended bolts, or open-ended lug nuts. What I found with that is that you're using less parts. So that means there's less things that can go wrong, which in essence is a better thing. However, if you install them properly, you're not gonna have any issues. That's the biggest thing I can stress on with wheel spacers. I've used both, they're both awesome. This is what I'm doing. This is what I need for my front and back. Now, when I go to my winter setup, I'm gonna have to be using a set of spacers like this that are a little bigger so my wheels are flush with the fenders. It's not a big deal, but since I have the extended bolts, I can swap between these two very easily. I'm not gonna run into any problems. Yeah, that's my little rant with wheel spacers. If you guys have any questions regarding anything that I used today, from spacers to my press to whatever, throw them down in the comment section below and I'd be more than happy to help. Again, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.